Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. My name is Mo Amir, and we're going to wrap up tonight with a guest who has spent the COVID-19 pandemic rating your room, your Zoom room, your Skype station, your remote workplace as presented in virtual meeting software. She, along with former White House staffer Claude Taylor, are the authors of the book How to Zoom Your Room, Room Rater's Ultimate Style Guide, which is out June 21st. Going global from Port Moody, BC, she is one half of the Room Rater Twitter account, which has over 400,000 followers on Twitter. She is Jessie Bahrey. Jessie, what a pleasure.
Hi, Mo.
I've been waiting to meet you for so long.
We've been talking about it for a while.
Okay, so you've never rated my room because I don't like to publicly post it. I'm one of those people that just has the white background, nothing else.
Hostage.
That is my Zoom room. But I'm going through your book. It's very detailed, and it's very detailed in terms of how to stage the perfect Zoom room. So broad strokes, how do you make the perfect virtual meetings, Zoom room, Skype room? What are the basics?
We tried to make it something easy for anybody to be able to do without a lot of time and money involved. So there's probably 5 or 6 things that are very basic. The first one is lighting.
Okay.
Everybody gets that wrong the first few times. Usually they need to add a lot more light, but too much light is also just as much of a problem.
Right. It'll drown you out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we talk about ring lights, lamps, any kind of lighting can be used. Doesn't have to be elaborate or expensive. The second biggest mistake people make is the camera height, or whatever device you're using. We call it the nostril view. We don't want to see your nostrils. I've used in some of my interviews stack of books.
Right.
Just keep whatever device it is at eye level.
Yeah.
Just don't want to see that.
Yeah. Because people aren't seeing what's behind the camera.
Exactly.
They're just seeing what's in frame. Yeah.
And it's the quickest and easiest fix. Like you see a lot of the people, and it's just, if they just raise the camera a couple inches, it would be fine.
Yeah. I hate it when they do just like chin. All you see is like a big face and a lot of ceiling or wall behind them. But okay.
So take a picture of yourself, actually.
Okay.
Right. And just or if you have somebody in the room, you can have them take a picture.
Yeah.
I would say the third biggest one was, like I mentioned, don't be a hostage.
That's my style.
Don't sit in front of a blank wall. Put something behind it. It can be wallpaper. It can be photographs. It can be art, just something.
See, I just wanted all the focus to be on me.
Yeah, that's kind of narcissistic, too.
Well, guilty.
I'm just kidding. You would be a hostage. We would consider you a hostage. This might sound obvious, but clutter.
Right.
Just organize it, clean it up. Nobody wants to see your clutter. Nobody wants to see dirty laundry. It sounds, you'd be surprised at how many people. We've seen a lot. The other one is do not organize your books by color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's big in the design world, apparently. You can just make a artistic statement of books, all the pink ones and blue ones together. I've always believed that nobody wakes up one morning and says, I feel like reading a pink book today. We always say add a plant or a succulent. A lot of times it's just for the color, but I also work in the industry. So buy a plant or a succulent.
Okay. A little self-promotion there too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Of course.
I love it. Can we rate some past This is VANCOLOUR guests and you can rate their rooms? Yep. Okay, let's start with the big boss himself. Okay. Let's start with Premier John Horgan. He was on the very first episode of the show. Yep. How would you rate his room?
Flags are always points.
Yes.
The lacrosse stick is a really nice touch. He needs a lot more light.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's uneven, and he needs to add a ton, but especially to the right. He would be an 8. Okay. In a close election year, we would probably rate him a 9.
No bias.
No, sorry. Shh, don't tell anybody that one.
How about CBC's Justin McElroy? I know this is a personal favorite for you.
Is a favorite.
You've rated him quite a few times.
Yes, he worked his way up from, I believe, an 8 to a 10. Okay, so the pennants and the pins on his jacket, of course, that is a shameless display.
Yes.
But that is worth points for us. He actually has art, and I like the, we call it the 2-room view, so you can actually see another room, so you can see his kitchen.
Okay, so room within a room in your Zoom is good.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Now, this one might actually get me in trouble. She's always in studio on my show, but on Political Capital with Rob Shaw, she's in her Zoom room. Please judge Katy Merrifield.
Well, actually, okay, Mo, she's your girlfriend. We know that. But because you're a nice guy and you're not a Republican, that would actually be bonus points.
Perfect.
But you know what? Without you, it's still a really good room. We like depth. With that room, you can actually see all the way, the whole room. We would say great depth, strong pillow game. I like the pillows. In her case, the only thing that's keeping her from a 10 is the backlight. There's a lot of the backlight that's reflecting off the art.
Right.
So we would like to see the art.
Yeah.
So just tamp down the backlight and she's a 9.
Blackout curtains.
You could even do, it wouldn't even have to be blackout, but just shades or something just to stop the reflection from the other screens.
Cool. Now, coming out of the COVID-19 lockdowns, hopefully coming out of COVID-19 pandemic in general, do you think this legacy of staging the perfect room for your virtual meetings, do you think that will continue on? Do you think people will be more conscious in the future?
Well, we hope so, mostly because we don't want to see Keith Baldry's old room. Nobody wants to see that. Sorry, Keith.
Shout out to Keith Baldry.
Sorry. I think it is here to stay just because I think Zoom is here to stay.
Absolutely.
I think that a lot of offices are going to a hybrid anyway, and a lot of people aren't going back. People are choosing not to go to jobs where they have to commute. So I think we will be around for a while, and I think that we have raised awareness about what things look like behind you as well. So hopefully
Here to
we'll
stay.
be around. Yeah,
Love
that
it.
would be good.
Jessie, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Folks, pick up your copy of How to Zoom Your Room, Room Raiders Ultimate Style Guide on June 21st, wherever you buy your books. It is illustrated by Chris Morris and co-authored by Claude Taylor and our guest tonight, Jessie Bahrey. Thank you again to Jessie for passing judgment on our virtual setups. Also, thank you to Ben Bolliger for sharing his experience with ICBC. And of course, thanks to BC Minister of State for Infrastructure, Bowen Ma, for taking my complaints in the launch of our new segment, The Complaint Box. We will be back next week right here on Check, Sundays at 7 p.m. For more, find This is VANCOLOUR on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and the Check Plus app. But for now, this is VANCOLOUR, and I'm Mo Amir telling you that in a province where you can be anything, be colorful. Peace.